Eminence. Go throw them knees up in the air.
9, 8, 7. We have a go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
She says to me, I hear pain in her voice. Then we danced underneath the candelabra. She takes the lead. That's when I saw it in her eyes. It's over. And she said, "Te amo." Then she put her hand around my waist. Told her no, she cried, "Te amo." Told her I'm not gonna run away. Let me go. I saw you to cry. I'll ask you why. I said, "Te amo." Somebody tell me what she said. Don't it mean I love you? Think it means I love you. Don't it mean I love you? Te amo. She's scared to breathe. I hold your hand and got no choice. Meet me out on the beach, danced in the water. I start to leave. She's begging me and asking why it's over. And she said, "Te amo." Then she put her hand around my waist. Told her no, she cried, "Te amo." Told her I'm not gonna run away. Let me go. I saw you to cry. I'll ask you why. I said, "Te amo." Somebody tell me what she said. Don't it mean I love you? Think it means I love you? Don't it mean I love you? Listen, we can dance. You gotta wash your hands. Watch me all night. I'm moving to the light because I understand that we
What is up,
are
SFL Nation, and welcome back to SFL Nights with AJ Striker. Thank you so much for joining me today or tonight or whenever you decided to hit that play button or turn on that radio dial. I really appreciate it, y'all. And I am joined here with my host with the most, Mr. Diggy. How are you?
I'm good. You know, I'm still recovering. I'm recovering.
Yeah, that was tough.
So,
We're
it's
talking.
okay. It's okay. On to the next week.
That's right. That is right. So we will be going. It's going to be a great show tonight. First off, we will be going over our Week 11 review and breaking down a couple games. Picks for Week 12 and our hot topic question will be: do you think the divisional standings will change much over the next 3 weeks? So it's going to be a good show. Now, fourth and goal interviews will include rookie nights, and my rookies will be Mr. John Smith, O-line for the O-line, wide receiver Mr. Joe Beasley, and tight end Mr. Jimmy Foster, all from the Madison Lynx. They really showed out tonight. Showed up and showed out. And then I also have Mr. Devante Moore. He is free safety for the Ottawa Calvary. So I'm sure Diggy is going to be really happy to hear from his alumni, that came out in full force. So shout out to y'all for doing that.
Yeah. Looking forward to hearing it.
Indeed. So Week 11 goes as follows. The London Knights took on the Alamo City Artillery, where London won 30-17. Kennington Classics battled the Fort Worth Toros, where Fort Worth won 37-23. Minnesota Legends battled the Tulsa Desperados, where Tulsa won 26-16. Houston Headhunters battled the Motor City V8s, where Houston won 52-24. The Seattle Nemesis took on the Portland Fleet, where Portland won 17-10. Carolina Skyhawks battled the San Diego Mavericks, and San Diego won 20-10. The Atlanta Swarm battled the Louisiana Revolution, where Atlanta won 24-20. The Queen City Corsairs took on the Mexico City Aztecs, where Mexico City won 38-13. DC Dragons battled the Las Vegas Fury, and DC won 34-20. The Charleston Predators took on the Denver Nightwings, where Charleston won 28-26. And lastly, the Arizona Scorpions battled the Baltimore Vultures, where
Baltimore won 51-28.
So, Diggy, what are our standings looking like after this week?
Hang on just a second. No, there it is. Our standings. Let's see here. I got 6 right. Last week you got 8. So you're 78 out of 116, and I'm 68 out of 116. And it's getting to the point of no return for me. So I don't want to talk about that right now.
So you gonna have my belt nice and shiny for me, or what's up with that?
I don't know. It might have to be a little bit kind of like the belt you got me for the SFLm.
Indeed. So we're gonna break down a few games. Diggy, who do you have first?
First game I had was Charleston versus Denver, and I know that when we did our picks, we were like a better game than people thought it would probably be, and it ended up being just that. Congrats to Denver's Lewis for his first career touchdown to start the game. Good job. Denver did a good job creating turnovers, and you could tell both of these teams really wanted to win this game. Charleston fought to stay in it, rushing for a touchdown before the half to make it 7-10, and came back strong in the third, actually getting lead with a dopey touchdown pass. They were still up 21-20 with 4 minutes left in the game in the fourth when they scored another touchdown, and Denver fought back with like 20 seconds left, but messed up on the 2-point conversion there to have a chance to win the game and or tie it up. But it was one heck of a game, and it had to be devastating for that locker room, but it was so fun to watch for us at home.
Mm-hmm. Another fun game to watch was the Atlanta Swarm taking on the Louisiana Revolution, and that was a rivalry, and very close. And I knew it would be, especially with these two teams. Both quarterbacks did pretty good, except there were a few more turnovers than I expected, with Atlanta Swarm having 4 and Louisiana having 2. They both were able to convert 4th down when it came down to it, but Atlanta just had a better 3rd down conversion each time they had the ball, which was at 61% versus Louisiana's at 46%. But even the rushing yards at being 67-60, they were very similar. The only difference is that Atlanta had 305 yards passing, and Louisiana had 245 yards passing. And even the time of possession was very close, like basically a minute apart. So, because and it's crazy because Atlanta Swarm, they made the most mistakes. They did not score a point in the first quarter, but they still wound up coming out with the win, 24-20, and Louisiana scored in every quarter. So sometimes teams just have your number, and I think that's what happened in this game. What's your second one?
Second one was QCC versus Mexico, and QCC did get 0 on a good run, but really passed a lot early, just not able to get it done as the O-line kind of gave up a couple big sacks, hurting them. I'll say this, Sype looks like a totally different quarterback. I'm glad he's got in a system that can really utilize him to his true potential and keep growing on it. Lakeman also, I think he's a good quarterback there with QCC. I think QCC just kind of has to figure out what they can best do with him and get that going next season. But the second quarter, there was some run and pass effectiveness of Mexico City that really excelled, and it really let them kind of take off as they got 21-3 to end the half. QCC's defense made a stop at the third, but that offense just couldn't get rolling, and I don't know if they got tired or what it was, but Mexico just kind of like ran all over their defense. Zero did have a couple good runs, but they really, I don't know what's going on. Like, I wish they would kind of like incorporate it more. And I think if they really incorporated the zero we're used to seeing from the past, it would open so much up more for Lakeman, and really have a chance to kind of show out and get things to turn around. But like we talked about it when the season started, it's a whole new staff over there again. It's a whole new look for them, and this is their first time going at it as a group. So there's going to be the growing pains, and it's still kind of showing. They've had some close games this season. They could have won, but they were just like right there. And I think they'll move past that. But this week just wasn't it for them. And they did their first touchdown until like under 3 minutes left in the game, and then ended up closing out 38 to 13. But they fought hard, and there's a lot of promise and good things that we've all seen from Lakeman. Lakeman can hit the dots. He can throw them. It's just some rookie mistakes still, and they'll weed all that out. So don't get your head down, QCC.
Indeed. Then we have a young team like that. Things happen. But the surprising game, but then not really, was the Minnesota Legends taking on the Tulsa Desperados. I say surprising because Minnesota has been on fire for this basically the entire season. And with the Tulsa Desperados, they have the potential to do great things, and they showed it with this win over Minnesota. Now, Tulsa did have a lot of turnovers as well as Minnesota, but I think the true reason why they won was because Tulsa played more balanced football. Their passing with Tulsa had 177 yards passing, 126 rushing. Minnesota had 265 yards passing, but only 82 yards rushing. So when both sides of the ball on your offense is not at least close, you find yourself in in tighter games, but you also find yourself on the losing side of things if other things don't happen for you. With the third down conversions, both teams did pretty decent. It looks like Tulsa actually had a little bit less luck in that category, but they were still able to pull out the win. But they scored more when it counted. Like they had 10 points in the first and in the third quarters, 3 points in the second and in the fourth. So when you're constantly scoring in each quarter, which is something that I think you should do every time you get the ball, you have the potential to eke out the other player. So that's why it's 26-16. They were in Greenwood District Stadium. They played really well at home. Minnesota I think, you have your off nights. And I think it was a lot of teams this week, particularly, that had off nights, including the last game that you and I are going to discuss, which is the Arizona Scorpions taking on the Baltimore Vultures. I'm going to let you start that one.
Well, there were about your game that you kind of went over. The one thing I kind of wanted to bring up too was it's not often you see like JQ when you look at the completion percentage. Mm-hmm. JQ had 44% of his passes completed for 177 yards. And Johnny was up at 65, almost 66. So it's just you gotta play all around, but it's just surprising. If you looked at it on paper here, you'd be like, man, Minnesota smoked them. But it's our game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. Congrats to Baltimore. It's always a hard game to come into, no matter what the team is facing Baltimore, and like always, they know what's going on over there. So congrats to them on all of that. A well scouted game by them and a well executed game by them. The best takeaway from it for me was I've got my other two kiddos here for the week. Hang on a second, my internet was looking iffy there, but I got my other two kiddos for the week. So my boy Nathaniel, who my player's named after, got to see himself play this weekend and make a couple good tackles and stuff. So that was the best takeaway for me. Even though it was a loss, it was still a win for me. So that was good. So that's what I'm taking away from it, and hopefully it ends up being a scenario where we can have a true 100% rematch for y'all in the championship game, and third time's the charm, and we smash it. So that's what I'm looking forward.
Absolutely. Did it hurt? Yep. And I think it's more so the fact that I know that Arizona can play better than that. And as I alluded to before, any team can have an off game. With Baltimore in particular, because we played them in the championships, because we do have unfinished business, as we said, between us and them, they came out on the better end of this. As you mentioned before, well-scouted game. They were really prepared for us. We attacked, we stifled their run game. They stifled our pass game. So it's amazing to see these coaches always in this chess match with each other, especially with T-Pat and TJ versus Eddie trying to figure each other out. And Eddie did come in with full confidence in this game. But when you only hold the ball for 16 minutes and the other team holds it for 10 minutes longer than you and have 3 turnovers at that, that's what happens. And again, they scored in every quarter. They scored 7 points in the first, 10 in the second, 24 points in the third, and 10 in the fourth. But we only score in the second and fourth quarters 14 points. So it's a learning curve. It is. And I would always say this too. I would rather lose this game when it doesn't count than the big show when it does. So they are a fantastic ball club. They are the top tier team right now. We didn't come playing our best, thus the loss. So just gotta do better next time. That's all. But with that, going to week 12 action. Now, this is going to be some tough pick'ems. Hold on one second. I got to see if I can freaking find the updated schedule. Here we go. So, week 12 will go as follows. On Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, London Knights will be taking on the Houston Headhunters. And Houston will be at home, Diggy. Who do you have?
I'll go London.
With the way they play, yeah, I think I'm going to go London too. 1:15 p.m. The Alamo City Artillery will be taking on the Canton Classics. It's hard to say with Canton. So even though Canton will be at home, I'm going to go with the Alamo City Artillery.
Yeah, I'm going ACA as well.
Okay. Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, the Portland Fleet will be taking on the Louisiana Revolution. What do you have?
I think I'm alright with Portland on this one. I think I'm alright with Portland.
Get out of my head, Diggy. I'm going with Portland too. Stop it.
You're just picking what I pick so you can secure a win.
No. Okay, well, we're gonna see. Next game at 6:45 on Saturday will be the Denver Nightwings taking on the Las Vegas Fury. And as much as we need Las Vegas to lose right now, I think Las Vegas is gonna win. You going with Denver?
You know what? Just to be different, I think I will. Okay. I was gonna pick Las Vegas, but I'll go Denver.
Of course you were. So on Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, the Sioux Falls Sparrows will be taking on the Vancouver Legion in Vancouver. What do you have?
I think Vancouver's gonna be too much, but then again, Sioux Falls always has that great secondary. So I think this will be probably one of the better games of the week. But I think I'm going to go for Vancouver on this one.
And I would have to agree with you. I'm going for Vancouver on this one. See, you, like I said, you're trying your best. At 9:15, last game for Saturday will be Queen City taking on the Fort Worth Toros. And the way Fort Worth has been playing, they have been showing very strong showings. So I'm going with Fort Worth.
Yeah, I don't want to sound brash like that, but I mean, dropping 52 points last week, and I mean, QCC's getting right there, but from what I saw last week, it's going to take a lot to knock off Fort Worth, and I just don't think it's there right now. So I'm going Fort Worth.
Gotcha. At 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, the Jacksonville Kings will be taking on the Minnesota Legends. Diggy, who do you have? And they're going to be in Minnesota.
Minnesota, hands down, Minnesota.
Yeah, Jacksonville is just going through too much. They're going through too many growing pains right now, so I got to go with Minnesota. Los Angeles Lycans will be taking on the Florida Storm in Florida at 6:45 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Who do you have? I'm going to go with you first.
Lycans and Florida. I'm going Florida.
Okay.
I'm going Florida on this one.
Okay. By them being in the eye, I definitely will have to agree. Florida it is. Baltimore Vultures will be taking on the Carolina Skyhawks at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. And of course, I have to go with Baltimore. As much as it pains me to say that, I got to go with Baltimore.
I think this one will be another fun one because definitely. Carolina played us well, extremely well. So I think Baltimore will knock them down, but you know how they are over there. They ain't going down without a fight, and they will. They'll come back on you. So I think it'll be a good fought game, but Baltimore will come out on top.
Gotcha. And the last game on Sunday at 9:15 p.m. Eastern will be the Seattle
Seattle what? Seahawks? Is that what you said?
I was just what you said? I had to stop myself. I was just going to say that. Seattle Nemesis.
Marshawn Lynch coming in your door, raining Skittles.
I had to catch myself, bro. You caught that. Seattle Nemesis will be taking on the Tulsa Desperados and Tulsa will be at home. I think I'm going to go with Tulsa on this one. That's strong. They have a strong showing right now. And Seattle just have a little bit of work to do. So I'm going with Tulsa.
I'm trying to talk myself into not agreeing with you.
You trying to come back up? I already know.
I can't do it. I can't go against that. I gotta go Tulsa.
So I think that we only disagreed on one game. This is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I think we were like that last week, a game or two. But I mean, it's kind of getting down to the last little bit where we, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of you can kind of figure. I mean, there's upsets and stuff, yeah, but I mean, it's just getting to that point in the season now. It's harder to kind of go against what we've seen and kind of what the trend is. So,
indeed,
go ahead and give yourself that belt, I guess. Because if you knock me down to one team picking all my picks.
See, last game will be Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. And it'll be Atlanta Swarm taking on the Indianapolis Ramblers and Indy. I am going with Atlanta on this one.
You know what? As good as Atlanta's been doing, I know I've said it. Give Chad a little bit of time, and it's really going to turn over there for Indy, and he's proven that this season. So he's put up a lot of good fights this season as well. So, I mean, I'm going Indy. And it kind of burns me a little bit because nothing against Chad and them, but Chad knows how I feel. I got some in real life stuff with the state of Indiana that I can't believe I said that. But I'm gonna go for you, Chad. Not for the name Indiana, but I'm gonna go for you, Chad. I'm gonna go for you.
Okay. We're gonna have to talk about that. I'm gonna have to give you a therapy session after that to see what's going on with you.
Oh, there. I mean, it's gonna be a while before that's done burning. That's deep.
We'll talk about it. So back to the hot topic question. I'm going to read over the current standings as of right now. The website has been updated, so these, as far as I know, have been it's current. And I want to know, in your opinion, do you see this lineup changing much? Okay, so Atlanta Swarm is number 1 at 8-1. Baltimore Vultures is number 2 at 8-1. The Arizona Scorpions is at 8-2 at number 3. Las Vegas Fury is at 7-2 at number 4. Tulsa is sitting pretty at number 5 at 7-2. Mexico City is at number 6 with 7-3. The London Knights is at 7. Minnesota is at 8. Fort Worth Toros is at 9, and Indianapolis Ramblers are at 10, all sitting at 6-3. Bro, you think this is gonna get shook up?
Let's see. I think Baltimore will probably take their top spot back.
Mm-hmm.
I think Baltimore will take their top spot back. I'd like for us to go up, but that's going to take, Atlanta losing something. But I'm okay with going into the playoffs at a 3 as well, because I think we'll have a good chance of, with our game being so close against Vegas earlier in the season. And then, I think it really came down to that pick 6 like they talked about last night. If we can have a good game and beat Vegas, which I think we can, I think we can secure at least that 3 spot. So as far as the rest goes, I still see Vegas over Tulsa. I can actually see Mexico moving above Tulsa and Tulsa dropping down. Minnesota cleans it up. I think Minnesota stays in there. I'd like to see. Man, the bottom half for sure is getting switched up. The top part, I'm gonna go ahead and say Baltimore 1. We're at least locked in at the 3. Mexico over Tulsa, and Vegas kind of stand roundabout up there. So the bottom part, I'm really curious to see how DC does at the end of the run. I mean, that'd be one heck of a story if they could squeak into the wild card. So kind of pulling for that. I think that'd be nice to see. And Indianapolis, I kind of hope Chad stays in there. So as far as that goes, I think there's still plenty of room for a lot to change, because like you said, it's so close in here. So close in here. And there's 3 weeks. You know, there's teams that got a bye. Like, we got a bye this week. We don't even have a game. So we only got 2 games left. So well, how much do you got moving?
Definitely the bottom half. I think that's going to be shaken up. I can see your point about Mexico City. Maybe taking over Tulsa's spot. Maybe Tulsa switching to the number 6 spot. But I think the Fort Worth Toros are actually going to move up, probably over to London Knights, just from the way that they're playing. I think they have a more sure thing going on. Minnesota, they have the potential to move up, definitely, but this loss to Tulsa kind of hurt them, I think. With the Indianapolis Ramblers, I can definitely see them moving up maybe a notch, but it depends on which Indianapolis comes to play, because we all know that, you know, they can be hit or miss at times. Fury, I think they're probably going to stick where they are, especially now. If we hand them that L like we fully intend to do, then of course they're going to drop. Then probably Mexico City is going to take that number 4 seed, I think. But ultimately, I would love to see Arizona lock in their 3rd position. Whether we move up to 2, don't know. That's kind of that might be a tall order. Not to say that it couldn't happen. I think that, you know, that number 3 spot is ours, but I think that there definitely would be some change between Baltimore and Atlanta as well.
We really have to beat Vegas at the end here, because if we don't, then we can really drop. But the bottom half, though, man, it's so. I mean, Minnesota, Fort Worth, Indy, San Diego, Vancouver, and I mean, we just talked up Vancouver. You know, DC, you know, Houston's been on a roll too. So it is really anybody's game down there. So
it's gonna be interesting. I think
this will probably be for season 20. This is gonna be one heck of a playoff run, and I think it'll be an exciting playoffs too. So
definitely a great way to end the era of football, you know. So I'm really anxious to see how it's all going to shake out in the end. But we're going to be moving on to our 4th and Goal interviews featuring Rookie Knights. See you soon. What is up, SFL Nation? We're back with my 4th and Goal interview featuring Mr. Jimmy Foster. He is a tight end for the Madison Lynx. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing pretty good. You know, a lot of your team representatives, I just want to let you know, on tonight's podcast, y'all the ones that answer the call the most. So,
from the locker room talk, I heard we were pretty good. I don't know. I haven't really checked into watching some games, but I'm pretty confident. I don't know.
Actually, Madison does have a good record as far as the SFLm team. So you did, you know, join a pretty good leadership. You're in really good leadership. So I'm excited to see what y'all do.
Coaches have been real helpful.
Indeed. I hope so. If they not, come tell me. I'll come talk to them. But let's get started to get to know you, Jimmy. So first question is, well, tell me if you feel comfortable with this, then that's fine. But tell me your age, your hometown, an interesting fact about yourself, and your favorite NFL team.
I am today is my birthday. I spent it doing what I did today. I'm 36. And I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania. Something interesting about myself, I play several instruments. And I'm an avid iRacer. I don't know if I can turn this around or not. Can I turn the camera around? Yeah, for a second there's my wheel stand, my racing wheel. So I do a lot of driving. I have a Subaru Impreza, so I'm a big racer. I like to drive.
Okay. Now, who's favorite NFL team?
Oh, damn it. You know what? Because my dogs, like this one right here, and this fat one over here. I'm Cowboys all the way, man. And I have a bunch of Cowboys crap everywhere, but I keep it away from them, and so they're in the other room. Because my hats come up to, my boots come up to. Yeah, Cowboys, yes.
Okay. Well, first of all, you're gonna have it's a lot of people that are Cowboys fans in the league, so I'm sure you're gonna make some friends with that one. You played 7 instruments?
Yes, I play the drums, the trumpet, the saxophone, the violin, the bass, and the keyboard.
Dope. So you're a regular one-man band, huh?
I also write. I have some stuff on YouTube and on BandLab. I write country and I do a little bit of hip hop. I kind of mix it all together. I'm a big country fan, but I like the way country has been going. In the way where they're kind of not just like my dog left me, my mom left me, you know what I mean? It's more about having a fun time. I just like the way country's going. It's kind of merging a lot of other things together with it. So that's what I do.
I love it. Dope. So maybe you can give me some lessons because I can see this guitar back here. Still learning. It's been years.
Really?
Yeah.
And just kind of picked up the instruments throughout there. I played obviously the trumpet and saxophone, and learning the line instruments on the drums were all through elementary school, middle school, and high school. I know one of your questions is, do I play sports? And that's, I played basketball, hockey, and football in high school. I just was very active. I didn't spend a lot of time inside. I mean, hunt, fish, I do all that. I don't. Just fishing yesterday. I know it's early. I'm in Pennsylvania, but I went to Lake Erie where I've got my fishing license. The only place you can fish in Pennsylvania right now is Lake Erie. I went fishing. The dogs are around the water. It was nice.
You catch anything?
No, there wasn't anything in there right now where I was fishing. And plus, my dogs were probably scaring them away because they were with. I have 5 dogs.
Oh yeah.
I have a duck and 2 too. Real quick, I don't know if this is taking up too much time. But
no, you're good.
I don't know if you can see these 2 guys right there.
Yeah.
Roosters. They're just chilling outside right now before they go back into the garage. But yeah.
Wow. So you jack of all trades. You're a musician. You an animal lover. You everything. So interesting. So tell me, how did you find out about the SFL, and why did you ultimately decide to join?
So I had a Samsung TV, and it has a free live TV, and I was bored. I was watching it, skipping through the channels, and there was an SFL game on. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I Googled it, and then there was a thing on there that said you can become a player. And I'm like, well, let me go check out the prices. And I seen the one, I was like, all right, well, take the rookie package, whatever, and sign up. And woo, it took me like 5 minutes. Once I figured out how to talk to everybody on the Discord channel, it was even easier to go. And like for a small second, I felt dumb trying to figure out how to upgrade my player. But just asking a quick question, they were answering me pretty quickly on how to do that, and I figured it out now. It's just remembering. I missed last week. Uh-oh. Yeah.
Well, you better set a reminder so you don't miss too many. But tell me, since you mentioned it, it was pretty easy for you to sign up. Now, how easy or how difficult was it for you when creating your player, your tight end?
Well, I just type my name in, my height, my weight, and then I mean the rest is there. I mean it's not that hard at all.
All right.
Broken screen or something, and then you're screwed. You have to buy the mail.
I understand. Tell me, how did it feel when you first entered into the Madison Lynx locker room?
Oh, it was cool. Everybody welcomed me. You know, everybody sent me a message and stuff. So, it was, I mean, I would have to look to see who it was, but you know, what I mean? It's really early. I think I was being told before anything really happens with the team and stuff. So I just kind of check in there when I get notifications, and you know what I mean. If not a lot of chatter is going on right now in the locker.
Okay, I mean it's understandable. Y'all not playing until May like 5th or something like that. So I get that. I get that. So, what made you decide to be a tight end? And did you model your player after someone?
So my favorite player of all time is Jason Witten. No, I didn't really model him after him, but I believe in 6'3", 2 something. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of big. I like a position that if I can't be a quarterback where I can control it, kind of you know, get a hand on the game, that I want to be the next best thing where I can be involved in both plays. So I'm blocking on runs, and you know, I'm big enough to take hits on catches in the middle of the field. You know what I mean? I'm clutch, and I could be clutch in goal line offense. You know, so I think that that's why I picked that position. It's the next best thing, and the quarterback was taken. So
okay, I understand that. So, does your player name or does your player number have significant meaning to it?
So my real name is kind of personal, but my real name is my biological father's also. We don't get along. He's not the person I call dad is my stepdad, who I was just fixing his car. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Him and together for about 30 years, so it's been a really long time. And I've always gone by Jimmy. And then Foster is I'm the oldest of 8. And then there's a bunch of cousins, and all the males, I have 6 sisters and 1 brother. All the males, I'm the oldest of all of the males too, and all the males have the same middle name, Foster, and that's because of my grandfather. And so I use that name.
Okay. Did you tell me about your number?
It wouldn't let me pick the number I wanted to pick, so I had to pick between
that one. Okay, gotcha. So, tell me, Jimmy, do you want to be involved in the league in more than just the player aspect? Do you want to try your hand at maybe broadcasting or being a statistician or a beat writer?
I've sat and did a little research on the game once. I just Madden, and then commentating on it. I did all right. I wouldn't mind being like stat commentator, or I think I'm fine enough to be color. I don't know, but yeah, commentary is where it's at. That would be pretty cool, especially getting involved with being able to they're actually really people, and knowing doing the research and getting involved in what's going on with them and their lives and stuff, and then how they do in real games. That would be what I want to do. I'm rambling.
No, you're good. Because all you have to do is speak with Mr. Mike Daggs. I'm sure he'll be happy to have you on, and you can actually practice doing the SFLm. And if you feel comfortable and you do good enough, you can start calling for the pros. So it could definitely happen if that's what you want to do. So tell me, Jimmy, what type of personality will you be bringing to someone's locker room?
I don't know. I'm fun. At first, I'm just gonna kind of be laying back and watch what everybody else says. You know what I mean? Pretty much the only thing I really get involved in right now is to pick them. I just figured out how to do that. It's been showing up on my screen for 4 weeks now, and I didn't know what was going on. I finally asked somebody what is this. I'm like, just click on the icons to pick which teams you want. I'm like, I'm doing that. But At first, I'm just going to be chilling back, kind of seeing what's going on. But after that, what's going on? I'm a funny guy. I tell jokes all the time. I try to. At least I think I'm funny. I don't know.
All right, then, like it. So, what are your expectations of your coach and of the players that's on your team?
So far, the coaches are meeting it, man. They answered me with what I need. They've all reached, the offensive coordinator. People have reached out to me already, and I know one of your questions is whether or not I plan on following the game plan of the coach and of my offensive coordinator and progression. And yes, right. I don't know nothing about none of this, so they do. So you know what I mean. Maybe in upcoming seasons, if I'm able to progress or whatever, then I might in my mind. But right now, they know this. I don't. So right there, my expectations are to just keep doing what they're doing, and that's being helpful. What else can they do? I mean, other than let's call good plays.
There you go.
Slot receiver throws. You know what I mean? Like, give me. That's a joke.
No, I get you, but I mean, it is true. You want them to call the best plays that they can, so y'all can be successful. Because otherwise, you wouldn't get the ball. You know what I mean? So I get it.
As I said, they keep doing what they're doing because, as I heard, I guess they're a good team. So
yeah, indeed.
Maybe tonight I'm gonna fall asleep to watching a game or two or something.
Get invested in it. How will your tight end build, the way you built your tight end, how do you think that's going to be beneficial to your team?
Well, like I said before, he's a big guy, tall, so I mean, gonna be a good blocker. He's gonna be hopefully a good route runner that can catch in the middle and not drop the ball when hit.
Okay. So how do you handle the trash talk and adversity that sometimes comes with playing sports, football? I know you play football and all of that. So how do you handle that?
Ask other people how they handle my trash talk. Because I'm competitive. When I win, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be stuff during the games if I do anything remotely. First down, yeah, man, you got 1 yard.
You got that chair? Yes, I got 1 yard. Yeah.
Not the last two.
Okay. So, what are you looking forward to the most being here in the SFL?
Watching the game, seeing what I can do. I mean, seeing what my player does. I'm May, man. Who the hell? I mean, geez, can we have some exhibition games or something?
Don't worry. When it starts, it's gonna be full force. So y'all gonna be just fine. You ain't gonna be able to get enough. So after the SFLm season is over with, there will be a rookie draft. So what are you looking forward to the most in your rookie draft for the rookie draft?
I don't know I'm not guaranteed to get drafted, right?
No, you're not guaranteed, but this is why you do these shows and this is why you talk. This is why you get to know some of the owners and the GMs of the league, of the majors, so you can have a good chance.
I hope to get drafted. I mean, I just don't know. This is my first time getting into this, and I'm literally just like 2 weeks, in. So to actually starting to, because I didn't know this stuff went on. You know what I mean? Like, this is cool. Like, so I just hope to get drafted right now. I can't be confident and say, my player's gonna do everything. I don't know. I don't know what builds what. You know what I mean? I haven't gotten in depth into looking into how this stuff works. So right now, that's my answer.
That's fair. I could take that. It's gonna be one of the best experiences I think you've had, because I don't know if you ever been drafted to an NFL team, but like just to hear your name called, even just for you guys to be in kind of like the green room, and then the camera kind of shifts to you guys every now and again to kind of show, the hopefulness on your face or the excitement, and sometimes the heartbreak too. It's good stuff, and I think that you guys are, and you can always go back and watch some of the rookie drafts too, so you can know what to expect too. But I think you guys are gonna have a good time. But now for a couple of fun questions for you, because I know you're a little tired. You've been working all day, but if
We're off, man. Let me.
it's all good, it's all good. If you could eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
I sat there and thought about that, and then I just kept. I don't think I could ever get tired of chicken wings. I don't, man. I got so many in the fridge right now. I eat them on a daily basis. I don't think I could ever get tired of them. There's a lot of protein in them, so you know what I mean. It'll keep me going. I don't think I could. No, I don't kill my chickens. I love them. They got names.
Okay, let's see. When you start naming them, it's gonna be real hard for you to,
Before we knew they were roosters, we thought they were hens.
Oh, ooh. So do they have personalities?
Yeah, they don't shut up from 4 in the morning at night. They roam the neighborhood. They were 4 houses down and 1 across just earlier today, just wandering in the neighbor's yard.
Just chilling.
I have a duck too. He's in the tub and is taking his bath right now. His name is Duck. He's a Aflac duck.
Oh, that's dope. If you have pictures, please send them. I'd love to see them. I'd love to see that.
On Discord, man. Well done. Yeah, he's in the tub right now, just chilling.
Okay. Good place to be. So, if you could have dinner with anyone that's dead or alive, that's famous or not, who would it be and why?
Jesus.
Jesus?
Jesus, yeah, Jesus. Yeah, I would love to meet Jesus.
You're the second person that actually said that.
Dude, that would be amazing. I mean, he would, first of all, if we were having dinner, I'd just be like, well, let me start off with some water. No, I'm just kidding. It's not the reason. It's just, I couldn't imagine the feeling of being in his presence, man. I'm a firm believer, and I don't know. And because the dinner I want is that bread of life, I don't want that. You know what I mean? I will someday, but it's not gonna happen on this earth.
You want the bread that's gonna nourish the soul. I get it. I like it. What was some of the worst advice you've ever received in your life?
I thought about that, and I couldn't, because you said the worst advice I ever followed.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is I got common sense. If I tell me I'm stupid, I'll argue you somebody to death. I love Google. I love the fact that Google, who won the Super Bowl in 1996, because this idiot trying to tell me it wasn't damn talent. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If it doesn't make sense to me, I'm like Judge Judy. She has one saying that I love, even though she has no common sense. It's, if it doesn't make sense, it's not true. And if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm not going to follow. I don't think I can. I try not to. I can't think of any time somebody told me to do something, and I did it where I thought it was good and it wasn't. At least not in recent history. I don't know. I'm getting old. I just turned 36 today, to tell you.
I'm getting old. It's crazy. So, if you can have a pause button or a rewind button in your life, which one would you rather have?
See, the thing is, there's some things that I would love to go back and change, but I wouldn't have probably what I have right now. So maybe a pause, because like I'm a big animal lover, if you can't tell. I want 2 goats, and I'm gonna name them Michael Jordan, because he's a goat, not LeBron, even though we have a chicken named LeBron, and Tom Brady. Oh man, I wish he would come to the Cowboys so goddamn bad.
Oh my God.
Because I'm going to call out Dak Prescott right now, man. Stop running backwards and throwing interceptions. How many yards you throw more than one?
I mean, Dak is cool though, but I mean, I get it. I know what you're used to.
No,
you know?
Jerry, dude, our quarterback stands still. You don't run forward. And he's like, okay, I'll stop running forward. I'll run for my life instead. Watched him fumble. He didn't fumble. He backed. He was it from like the 10-yard line. He backed into the end zone, cocked his hand back, and a defensive player took the ball out of his hands for a touchdown. Where are you going? Just dropping back so far.
Oh man. One more question for you before I let you go, dear. If you had the power to visit or study in depth the ocean or space, which one would it be?
So I grew up in the ocean. My uncle was in the Navy and he raised me. So I've been from Brunswick Naval Air Station in Maine all the way down to Pensacola Naval Air Station in Florida.
Wow.
Charleston, Oceana Naval Air Station, Norfolk Naval Station. I've been there. My grandmother lived with us and she was a lighthouse fanatic. So we've been to every lighthouse from there down, from, Cape Hatteras to Portland Headlight, so space would definitely be it. I love the ocean, and I spent a lot of time in it. And so yeah, space would be cool. I mean, I would just like to be able to go on other planets that I could actually walk on. As you know what? I'm going to take that back now because space is pretty empty. I actually would love, there's a lot of things in the ocean I still haven't seen. So no, because there's fish and octopuses, sharks, and all types of cool crap down there. Fish that light up. What am I going to find in space? A bunch of air and rock.
You never know. You never know. It could be a whole other. It could be a whole other planet with people that look just like us. Have you ever seen? I don't know. You probably may have. Are you into science fiction at all?
I am.
You ever seen Sliders?
I watched it when it first came out. It was a one-time thing, but yeah.
See, they were bouncing from different planets, and they kept seeing themselves on different planets doing different things. Some of them were men, some of them were women. They come back as the other. They go to another planet. They're the other sex. You know what I mean? So it could happen.
I would. Everybody else I'm saying, I don't know how anybody would do what a female means. Right? I already always have to be right.
It'll just get worse. Oh man. Well, Jimmy, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you for hanging out with me. But do you have any questions for me before you go?
I didn't. Well, where does this go? Like who sees it?
So the league. So what happens is I've been doing this podcast since December 28th of 2018. And so my main goal is to basically help you tell your story, because like we all come from different walks of life. You have military personnel, you have retired policemen. Some people are still in the police force. You have students, you have doctors, you have all types of people that are in this one space. And I think it's important for people to get a chance to hear from others and find out that you have more similarities than differences. And so that's the reason why I do it. So the entire community that watches it, sometimes the shows can range to about 60 people. Sometimes it could be about 200, just depends. So yeah, I'm going to put a link when it's ready. I'm going to put a link and then you're going to be able to see it on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to come out Thursday.
So I tell you something, man. You've never played a racing video game, so you've iRaced on one of these.
Oh, man. That was another thing I wanted to bring up. So Mike St. Green, he is one of the owners for the Houston Headhunters. And then Tyler Falk, he's one of, I think he is the strong safety for Louisiana Revolution. They both love iRacing. Like Mike has a whole setup with the wheel and with the pedals. Because when we went to the last convention in Houston, we were able to kind of play on it. Man, I'm telling you, iRacing is fun. It's so dope.
It's some junk. We're kind of remodeling a little bit, but I've got everything. And it just hooks up to my computer, and then I just sit in front of it, usually in my lazy boy, and I race.
Nice. Hey, so like I said, you have a lot of, I think you'll gauge a lot of interest with different people because some of the things that you've mentioned, people have done. Like we do have a lot of musicians in the league. We have just a lot of different people that when they see this, they naturally gravitate towards people. So it's going to be interesting, but thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate you for being on, and I cannot let you go without giving you the last word. So it can be a shout out, it can be a song, or it can be a poem. But right now, Jimmy, the floor is yours.
I don't know. I'm going to shout out my brother because he is the cutest puppy in the world.
Yes, he is.
He's only months. He's huge already.
Yeah. That's good enough for me, man. Well, I wish you the best of luck in your SFL career. Of course, if you have any questions, you have my DM. You can ask me. I'll be more than happy to guide you in the right direction. And you have a good night. Get some rest, dear. I know you're tired.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye. What's up, SFL Nation? And we are back with my fourth and goal interview featuring Mr. Devante Moore, good friend of mine. He is a part of the Ottawa Calvary, their free safety specifically. Devante, how you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. I want to first of all thank you. I know you on the East Coast. I know it's kind of late for you, so I really appreciate your time, brother.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. When I saw your message, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I see you guys are very community oriented, so I think that's really awesome.
Indeed. But we're gonna get to know you, so you can, since you decided to join our gracious community, got to make sure I welcome you in the right way. So, if you feel comfortable, tell us your age, your hometown, interesting fact about yourself, and your favorite NFL team.
All right, so I am 27. I'll be 28 November. I live in Hagerstown, Maryland, so I'm in Maryland, DMV. Interesting fact about myself, man. Let's see. I was a Panthers fan for a year. It's a long story. My favorite team now, I'm a Colts fan now, but I was a Panthers fan for a year. I think that was the one year they actually were, somewhat decent. I think that's when they had Dick DeLome, and then after that, I was like, I can't do this anymore. So that's yeah. It's interesting. My whole family, since they're all from the DMV, they were either Commanders fans or Redskins fans or Ravens fans. I didn't want to be any of that, and so it took me forever to find a team. So I found the Colts, and then I've been a Colts fan, ever since, through the good and the bad.
Okay, get that. I get that. Did you give me your interest? That was your interesting fact, or was that your NFL team? Or was that both?
Yeah, it's kind of both.
Okay. So tell me, how did you find the league, and why did you ultimately decide to join?
So I've heard about the league before through other leagues. Yeah, I've heard about it before, and I knew that you guys use 2K, like the 2K football game, but I had never really gotten into it. And then Vic. One day Vic followed me on his team Twitter, and so I was I started looking through stuff, and I was like, "Oh, this looks real interesting." And then I joined the Discord, and I was kind of seeing, and then I realized like you guys do like all these events and stuff like that, and I was like, "Yo, this is super cool! Like I've never seen anything like that." And so I was like, I gotta get in on this just because it looks amazing. Honestly, it really does.
Yeah, and I can tell that you're part of many sim leagues because that's your wrestler you got put up there. So I recognize it. I got a few wrestlers myself. So
I try to stay busy, man. I need something to do with my spare time. I'm a dad. I ain't got that much free time. I need something to keep me entertained.
Trust me. I totally understand that. So have you ever played sports before?
Oh yeah, I played football. I played baseball, basketball growing up. I actually coach basketball now. So I've coached basketball for a few years. Currently, I coach 5th and 6th grade. So I've coached rec league for a while. And it's the most rewarding and also frustrating thing at the same time. Because I never realized like how annoying other people's kids can be. It's like I wouldn't trade it in for the world because some of these kids are the coolest, but I'm like, man, some of y'all are lucky I'm not your daddy. Boy, I tell you.
Listen, I totally understand.
All in all, it's cool though. Yeah, I played sports pretty much my whole life.
Okay, that's good to hear, man. So if you had to choose between, football, you actually played football. What position did you play?
So I started out at end. I started out at D end, and then I moved to D tackle. And then on offense, I played center. And once I got to high school, it was kind of like, you could play both sides, but like I really wanted to focus on playing center because that's what I was planning on doing, like going to college and stuff to do that. Okay. But I never hit my growth spurt, so I stayed at 5'9" for the rest of my life, and I was like, this is not what I expected.
Well, you're better than me, bro. I'm 5'2", so you better.
I think you and my kid might be the same height almost. For like some days.
That's messed up, man.
It's sometimes I look at him like, damn, you get a little bit too tall, bro. You gotta chill out.
Got me choking over here, man. But so when you joined, how easy or how difficult was the process of you creating your player?
Oh, that was actually really easy because it was just like I joined and then it was like, all right, what do you want your name? Obviously your name, your number, things like that. I think the only thing I don't remember is if I got to like actually create how my player looks or do like any accessories or anything. I can't remember that. But that's just, I just count that up to semi old age. But yeah, I can't remember for the life of me if I did any of that stuff. But honestly, it was super easy. And I really like the upgrading and stuff. I think it's super easy. It's one of the easiest things I've ever seen. You click on something, you put in your upgrades, boom, that's it. It's like a set it and forget it thing for me.
Okay. So because you spent your football career when you were playing, being on defense, is that the reason why you chose to be a free safety, or who did you monitor your player after?
Actually, I monitored my player after Sean Taylor. I grew up, and Sean Taylor is always one of my favorite players. Anybody who watched football back in the day knows Sean Taylor. Dude was special, right? Obviously the unfortunate accident that happened, right? Him passing away, but anybody who watched, everybody knows that dude was special. And so I was sitting here and I'm like, I've made defense in other leagues, and I'm like, but I always do D line. And I'm like, I'm gonna do something different. And so I decided to go ahead and go with a free safety. And he was the first person that popped in my head. As soon as I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna be a free safety, that was the first thing. It was also kind of a pick and choose because it was like there wasn't that many spots open. Like there were some, and I was like, damn, do I really want to be a fullback? I think I'll be a safety instead. So that's what I decided. I'm happy with it. I'm super excited.
Okay. As long as you're happy, we're happy. So how did it feel to enter your locker room for the first time, Madison
Lynx.
Oh, they were super helpful. I'll say that. Because I was very confused when I first joined. I was like, hey, what the hell do I do? Like, I had no clue what to do. I didn't know where to set anything up. I had no clue. And they were just like, oh yeah, do this, you're good. And then they explained to me the process of like upgrading. And then it's super cool because there's also somebody, I'm not sure if he's the coach or not, but like they put in kind of like their suggestions each week for what they think you should upgrade. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, I mean, I kind of knew what I wanted to do anyways, but I thought that was super cool, especially for some people who, might be stuck or just might be new to, anything like this. I have a little bit of experience, so it's easier for me, but I could definitely see I could definitely see somebody getting confused. So yeah, the locker room was cool. It was dope. I like the people.
Okay, now to your point, when it does come to progression, do you plan on taking your coach's advice solely, or are you going to be doing your own thing, or is it going to be a collaborative effort between both of you?
It'll be collaborative for sure. I'm definitely one of those people. I'm always for advice. Like, I have no issues with that. And so I would much rather somebody, give me advice and feedback. I'm not going to act like I know everything. I'd be a damn fool, right? I wouldn't be a coach if I did. So I'm definitely going to take it. And the thing is, what he wanted me to upgrade, I was going to upgrade that anyways. So I was like, I think we're kind of on the same page, right? Like, I think some things are common sense. And so I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, it'll definitely be one of those things where it's like, I'll always weigh everything before I make a final decision, but it'll definitely be a collaborative effort.
Okay, good stuff. So does your player name or your player number have significant meaning to it?
My player's name is just my name. So I mean, that's kind of significant, but nothing crazy. And then the number is just for Sean Taylor, because that was the number that he wore. He actually wore two numbers, but that was his secondary number, was 21 that he had wore. And so I decided I wanted to support that. So that's also been one of my favorite numbers for Lord knows how long. I feel like some of my favorite players in history have wore 21, so it just makes sense.
Okay, I like it. So what are you looking forward to the most in being here in the SFL?
What am I looking forward to? Well, playing for starters.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I signed up. I was like, yeah, when's our season start? They're like, oh, May 5th. And I was like, oh. I was like, well, that's it's closer than you think. Especially this year. This year's been going by so fast. I'm like, before you know it, the season will be here. So I'm just excited to, see my player progress, see how things go. I would love to, eventually meet everybody and, be like a real part of the community and stuff like that. I'm pretty quiet for the most part. I don't really type that much. So, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, I'll chime in when I feel, especially if I'm playing well. If I play well, you'll hear it. Don't worry.
Okay.
But other than that, I stay pretty quiet.
That's good to know, because my next question was going to be, what type of personality would you add to someone's locker room?
I'm definitely, like I said, I'm a quiet guy, but I'm very team oriented. Now, it's funny. I think I'm partially a quiet person because my job is sales. So I talk to people all day. So it's like, sometimes I just don't want to talk to anybody. Right. So I think that's a big thing is, I just don't want to talk sometimes, but I'm a team first guy. I'm always going to be there for everybody, and in other leagues, I'm always talking to my guys. I'm always seeing how people are doing, I've paid a few people's ways for different things, stuff like that. I'm a family person. So it's one of those things, especially like, once I really feel like we're family, like I'll do anything for people.
Okay. So what are you what are your expectations from your coach and from your teammates?
I don't really think there is any. And I mean, for myself, I don't really have any. I think it's one of those things where, especially because I don't know what to expect, I play Madden all the time, so I know a lot about Madden. I don't know anything about 2K. I ain't played 2K football in years, man. So it's like I don't really know what to expect. I'm interested to see how things go. See like how the ratings work with different things and stuff like that. I just want to see good football. I'm not gonna sit there and act like I want to lose every game. Nobody goes out there to lose every game. But I want to see good football, right? And I want to see, I want to see people work hard and, try. That's you do all that. I can't ask for much more, but I'm definitely expecting to be competitive this year. I've been, a lot of people have been talking in the team room and they were saying there's certain teams to beat and things like that. And I'm like, I don't think we should think that way. I think we should think that we're the team to beat until otherwise. So that's just kind of how I feel.
Okay, mark of a leader already. Mark of a leader already. Like it. So is there any other aspect besides being a player that you would like to explore? Perhaps doing that. Well, you're a coach, so it's,
I understand.
The coaches, yeah. Something like that would be fun. I think kind of more of a GM role would be something that I would look forward to in the future, right? Because I think one of my favorite things to do is team building. Like that's ever since I was a kid. I think anybody who's played Madden or anything like that, you play franchise, team building is like one of the funnest things to do, right? And that's something that I've always been interested in. So, in the future, definitely that would be something that, as I get ingratiated in the community and, kind of just learn a lot about people, that would be something that I would really, really like to look into.
Good stuff. Now, how will your player build be beneficial to your team? The way you built your player?
So I'm definitely, I plan on being almost a safety blanket for the team, right? I think safety is one of the most important positions on the field. Everybody's got to do their job, but safety is one of those things where it's like you think about people like Sean Taylor, Ed Reed, things like that. You think about Ed Reed, a lot of the times he wouldn't even be anywhere near the ball. All of a sudden the ball goes up in the air and he just comes out of nowhere and picks it off, right? I want to be that person that it's like, my defense knows, I got 21 behind me. I'm good. I ain't got to worry about nothing, right? Do my job, stay in my lanes. That ball goes up, he's going to go after it. So, and it's the same thing, run defense also. I think a lot of safeties, all they're worried about is playing the passes and stuff like that. I plan on playing the run too. I'm definitely not going to let my guys down. So, I think I'm just going to bring a little bit of swagger and a lot of toughness.
Okay. And you will have to be tough because I want to know, how do you handle adversity and trash talk, especially when your team isn't doing good or even maybe your player didn't make that play he was supposed to make?
Listen, I trash talk with the best of them. Listen, don't get me started, man. That's my thing. That's what I do. I can take it. That's how I grew up, right? You grew up, everybody knows, especially anybody that's like from the South or near the South. You gotta be able to take it, right? Because that's all we did. We used to joan on each other all the time, especially when I was young. Oh man, I used to get it so bad, all the time. I used to get it super, super bad. Be one thing or another. Be your cheeks, your hair, your this. I'm like, what? I'd wake up, walk out into the kitchen, and just automatically first thing, like, oh, look, you finally up. Oh, about time. I'm like, damn. It's like 8:30 in the morning. What? And then from there, it just goes. This just goes. And so, yeah, I can take it, but I'm gonna give it right back. That's the thing, people. You got to understand. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not gonna sit there quietly. So I'm not that guy.
Okay. So how do you handle the adversity that sometimes comes with losses and things like that?
Yeah, I've learned, especially when I was younger. When I was younger, I used to be a terrible loser. I won't lie. I used to be a horrible loser. And as I got older, I realized like it happens, right? Sometimes you can do everything you can. There's always going to be somebody out there that's better than you, And I think it's just one of those things where it's like you just got to accept it. You got to accept it and learn from it. Figure out what went wrong and move on. Especially coaching basketball now, I tell the kids, I'm like, hey, we're not going to go undefeated every single season, right? You're not going to go undefeated this season. You may not go undefeated ever in your life. You may lose every game. But the thing is that you got to keep working. If you just lose and you're like, whatever, that's not okay. You got to learn something from it and figure out what to do so that next time it happens, you don't lose. So I definitely, like I said, I've learned a lot in my life, and I think it's a weird way to say it, but I'm a good loser now. I'm definitely better than I was.
Everybody progresses, and when you grow up, you let childish things go. So I get it. One more question before I enter the kind of fun questions. After the I get that feedback.
Oh shit.
It's okay. Sorry. So after the SFLm season is over, there will be a rookie draft. And what are you looking forward to the most in the rookie draft?
Well, hey, showing off my swagger. I'm gonna get me a nice little suit, right? Probably get me some purple and gold, little pinstripes, something slight. We'll get to that. Don't worry. So, but it's honestly, I think it's the experience. I think that's always the coolest thing, right? Like everybody loves to be drafted. The draft's about to come up for the NFL, right? And so, there's all these dudes who their dreams are either going to be coming true or they're going to be bagging groceries down the street until somebody calls. So, it's one of those things where it's everybody's dream. It's everybody's dream to play in the league, to do something like that, right? And especially when you put in the work, to see all the work that you put in pay off, there's no feeling. There's nothing like that. So that'll be the most exciting thing for me, especially, and meeting a lot of the guys, right? I'm sure as the season goes, I'll talk to a lot of these people, and I'll talk to you and other people and stuff like that, and then being able to actually introduce myself and meet a lot of these people as we go. I'm gonna enjoy the journey up to it. I'll say that.
Okay, good stuff, man. This is some good stuff. Now, some of the questions I've already given you, but I'm gonna throw some at you that you didn't even know I was gonna throw at you, just to kind of throw you off a little bit.
That bet.
So, would you rather have a pause button or a rewind button in your life?
Probably a rewind button. I say a rewind button. A pause button is only going to do me good for so long. I think a rewind button would be better. So there's some moments that I would like to, just live over and over. Especially like you make that good grilled cheese or something like that. I just want to keep, eat like 4 of those. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, definitely rewind button.
Okay then. So what is a moment in life that you're most proud of?
Being a father. 100%. There's no question. Being a father is the greatest job in the world. That's something that I could have millions of dollars. I could have everything, but waking up, and my son waking up and him smiling, taking him to school, stuff like that. There's nothing like that. That is the greatest thing in the universe, and that is the one thing I'm most proud of, is that I can say I'm a good father.
Awesome. Would you rather live without heat or AC?
Heat. No, not even. That's not it. I don't even have to think about that one. I could live without heat. I'm always hot, but like I need that AC. I got the fan running 24/7. I gotta stay cool. So that's not even a question.
Gotcha. What is some of the worst advice you've ever received?
Oh man. Oh, the worst. I'm trying to think, because I've received quite a bit of bad advice. My uncles aren't the greatest when it comes to the ladies, so I'm really trying to think. I know one. So I'll never forget. It was like 5th grade, and I really liked this girl. And I was talking to one of my uncles, and I was like, hey, I don't know what to do. Now he's younger, right? So he was like my uncle, but he was shit. I mean, he wasn't that much older than me. And so he's sitting here and he's like, oh, you know what you do? And I'm like, what? He's like, ignore her. And I was like, huh? He's like, yeah. He's like, ignore her. He's like, don't act like you. He's like, don't look at her. Don't talk to her. Don't do nothing. Just ignore her. And I was like, why the hell would I do that? He was like, because it's going to make her want you more. and all she did was hate me after that. So I was like, that might have been some of the worst advice in my life. Because I was like, from that point, I learned, don't do that. That was one of the dumbest things ever. I ignored her for like a week straight. I ain't talked to her. I ain't look at her, nothing. And then I walked up and I was like, hey, what's up? And she just was like, nah. Like, just like, nah. And I was like, okay, well, there goes that. So lost that one. On to the next. So yeah, that was some of the worst. My uncles were disgustingly bad with women advice. They didn't know anything.
I'm so glad you decided not to listen to any more of their advice.
Yeah, no, that was a rough one, man. They weren't very good with the ladies, and I learned that. Especially now, I look back, I'm like, damn, y'all were kind of dry. That's unfortunate.
So, if money and time were no object, what would you be doing right now?
Watching Shrek with my kid. Well, actually, the same thing I'm doing right now. Technically, what I'd be doing right now is the same thing. I'd be sitting here talking to you. So, but like on a daily basis, shit, I'd probably wake up, get my kid breakfast, right? I have somebody out there catering breakfast or something like that.
Mhm.
He's real simple. He likes pancakes. He'll eat the hell out of some pancakes. So get him his little pancakes, and then we're gonna sit here and watch Shrek. He's gonna play with his toys. And I'm gonna make him clean up his toys regardless, because I can pay for a maid, but my mom ain't raised me like that. So he cleans up his stuff. So and then I don't know shit. We'll go out to the zoo. I'll walk in like zoo or something like that. The aquarium stuff. I'm a real simple person. Like I'm very like just basic. Like little things make me happy. Spending time with my kid. You know, taking car rides, like little stuff like that. That's the stuff that makes me content. As long as I can do stuff like that on a daily basis, I'm cool. So yeah, if I had no money, if I had all the money in the world and could do whatever I want, I'd probably just do the same things every day.
Interesting. Very interesting. What was one new experience that you tried that was completely unknown or uncomfortable when you first tried it?
Sales. So I'm in sales, and I'm not a people person by any means necessary.
Really?
So, yeah, I have the gift of gab. Like I can't explain it, but I really like if I could on a daily basis not talk to anybody, I probably would. So it just doesn't work out that way. But it's like, yeah, I've been in car sales for a little bit over a year now. And I'll be honest, I don't know anything about cars. Like when I say nothing, I don't know anything about cars. Cars is not my forte. But I saw the job. I knew of a homie who made good money. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. Applied, got the job, was terrified for like the first 2 months because I was like, dude, I'm not learning. Like, I don't know anything about these cars. I don't know anything about the process. And then once I sat in front of somebody, it was just natural. I've been in sales my whole life. So once I got to sit in front of somebody and just start talking, I was like, oh, I kind of learned, you know. And I think the biggest thing was that also car salesmen have this really bad stigma. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows that. And so I really just wanted to not be that person, right? I don't want to be that dude that's just trying to take people's money or, you know, put people in nasty cars. Like I really wanted to be different. So it was definitely, I think, a leap of faith in my life at that point that I took because I really wasn't sure where it was going to land. But it's worked out super well.
Well, I'm happy to hear that, man. That is a tall task, man. Living when you know, living on sales and commission and things like that, it can be a lot to manage. But I'm glad it's successful for you. If you are trapped on a deserted island, and you only have 3 things with you, what are they and why?
Sunflower seeds, just because I don't know what happened in high school, but somehow somebody got me addicted to sunflower seeds. And that's like my go-to snack. Like I could eat those things all day. Sunflower seeds, definitely water. Because I mean, that's essential. You gotta be a dummy to not bring water. And a fan or some sort of AC because I gotta make sure I'm cool, bro. I can't sleep if I'm hot. So like I can sleep anywhere. I'll sleep anywhere. I can sleep in a car, on a rock, on the floor. As long as I'm cool, I'm good. I just need that fan. I need the noise and the air. I'm chilling. Give me those 3 things, I'll be good. I'll figure out the rest. I might not leave, actually. I might stay and be peace and quiet. Shoot.
I can't believe you said sunflower seeds. That's the first thing. Okay. Okay.
Hey, it's an essential, I'm telling you. Always.
I don't know why that tickled me so much, but okay. That was cool. You threw me off. Name 2 people in your life that inspired you positively and why.
My son, 100%. When I tell you, listen, I can talk about my son all day, so I'm trying not to. But it's like definitely my kid. I was always doing well for myself. I always, I went to work. I did the things I was supposed to, right? I've always done the things I was supposed to, right? It's the way I became a man, and once I grew up, became a man. I always went to work, always paid my bills, always just like I said, did what I was supposed to do. But once I had him, it kind of was like almost a reality check. I was just like, I'm doing fine. I'm making okay money, right? I'm paying my bills. I'm like, I gotta do better. I can't just sit here and do this every day for the rest of my life. And so he's part of the reason I took, these leaps of faith. He's where I'm at, or he's why I'm at where I'm at now. He's the reason that I'm doing these things that I'm doing well, you know. So he's a huge reason. He is the reason I am who I am today, pretty much. And then the other one would be my mom, you know. That's another cliche one, but without her, I don't know what the hell I'd be doing. You know, I take care of my son full time by myself. So, you know, she picks him up from daycare. She watches him till I get off of work. You know, she helps and stuff like that. So it's like, man, without her, I have no clue, you know, what I'd be doing. She's helping raise him. You know, she raised me, and you know now she's helped raising him. So those are the two people that it's like, as long as they're in my life, I'm good. I ain't got to worry about nothing.
Okay. Good deal. If if you can have dinner with anyone that's either dead or alive, famous or not, who would it be and why?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh man, there's so many things. There's so many. Who would it be? I gotta really think about that because that's a hard one. Because it's like there's all these celebrities and all these people that are like in my head that I'm like, damn, that'd be real cool. But it's like there's a few different. There's a few different people. Like definitely somebody like Chadwick Boseman, right? Because he just seems like the most wonderful person when he was alive. You know, I think he would genuinely be a great guy. Definitely, you know. Somebody like I'm not gonna say Jay-Z because I feel like that's an obvious one. Like everybody would always say Jay-Z's. So I don't want to say that. I think 50 Cent actually. If I had to choose between Jay-Z and 50 Cent, I'd say 50 Cent. Only because 50 Cent, I feel like his avenues and the way he's branched himself out into doing so many other things, I think that's awesome. And so like I would love to be like, you know, what do you do? Right. And 50 Cent doesn't seem like the type of person that's gonna be like, oh, I wake up at 5 o'clock. Drink 3 bottles of water, you know, like all those idiots on the internet that you see that say that. I feel like he would actually tell you some cool stuff. So, yeah, those are two people that I would love to. Selena. Everybody knows Selena. She was super talented. I love her music. I love her voice. You know, that would be another person that I would love to go out to dinner with. A, because she was super fine. And B, I would be like, please serenade me with a song. That'd make my life so much better. Like, 100%, I'd be the happiest man in the world.
Okay, actually, all of your answers were firsts on the show. So hey, it's interesting what you get when you ask people these type of questions. I got 2 more. What was one of the most embarrassing things you did when you were 10 years old or younger?
All right, this is a good one. So I had to be like 6, like 5 or 6. I think I was like 6. And so I was sitting at the bus stop. Me and my uncle were sitting at the bus stop, my uncle Junior, and I'm running around with one of the other kids, and I wasn't paying attention. And so like I'm running, not paying attention. And as I'm running, I turn and I smacked the shit out of this tree. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. But I smacked this tree so hard, and I got up and I was screaming. And now, granted, there's probably like 4 or 5 kids at this bus stop. So I'm screaming my head off because I smacked my face on the tree. And so my uncle takes me back to the house, and my mom's like, "What happened?" And she tells him what happened, and she just shook her head. I didn't go to school for the rest of the week because I kept telling my mom, I was like, "Mom, they're gonna think I'm dumb." Like I was like, dude, I hit that tree so hard. I was screaming, and I remember hitting the tree. I don't remember what happened after, but I remember hitting the tree. So she had to tell me the rest of the story. But like I hit that tree pretty hard. I was definitely embarrassed. Oh, and when I got my hair cut, and I thought I wanted the kid in play, and I thought I looked good, and then I saw it like in the mirror after we left, and I was like, bad choice. Yeah, like bad choice. And I had to grow that out for a little bit so I can get it cut again. That was something I'll never do again either.
Oh my God, I can only imagine. Oh my God. And then did your friends clown you about it?
Oh yeah. This dude Stefan, he was one of my best friends in school. He made fun of me for like a week. And we're like 7 or 8, and I'm just getting clowned on. And I thought it was cool. My mom was one of those people where it's like, you know what, you want your haircut, do what you want. I don't care. If you look goofy, that's your problem. Unless I had pictures or something. But yeah, I wanted the kid in place. So, you know, I got the high top fade, stuff like that. And then I saw it, and I was like, I think I'm a little too light to rock this. It just didn't look right. So I was like, I don't think this is it. So it wasn't. That was a bad choice. I was like, never again.
Oh my God, I wish you had some pictures. That would be hilarious. But okay. So, last question. If you are walking down the street, and every time you walk outside the house, there is a song that plays. This is your theme song. What would it be, and why?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh man, damn! My brain. That's a hard one because my brain is like, and obviously everybody says this, but like I have so much music in my head. It's absurd. Like it's insane how much. And I'm trying to like I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. It would definitely be some sort of Drake song or something like that, or something old school. Like yeah, it'd be something like my music varies so far. I listen to everything. It might be I might say Mobb Deep, right? Or it might be Pun, or I'd say Drake. My music ranges quite literally everywhere. I got stuff in the 60s. I got Sam Cooke songs, from the 50s and the 60s. So it's like my music is everywhere. So that's why I'm like, that's hard to say because it's like I have such a appreciation for music. I can't think of any one song that it's like, if I had to listen to this for the rest of my life, I'd be happy.
Okay, I'll let you slide with that one this time. But next time I have you on, you won't have to pick one.
I'm gonna start a top 10. We'll go from there.
I'll allow it. But cool, man. Listen, thank you, Devante, for your time. This was awesome. I really appreciate you for coming out and sharing who you are with us. And before I let you go, though, I want to know if you have any questions for me.
I do not. I definitely want to say thank you, though. I appreciate it. This was dope. I'm glad that, you guys do stuff like this because it definitely means a lot to me to be able to just, kind of introduce myself, right? Because otherwise, nobody would have knew. I would have been sitting in the locker room. I'd have been sitting in this Discord for months. And until somebody saw my dude play, I would have got like 3 picks in one game, and then I would have been talking trash, and nobody would have had a clue I was even in the league. So this is definitely like good because at least people know who I am now. So when I do get 3 picks in the game and I do talk trash, they're like, yeah, that sounds about right. He warned us.
Yeah, so. That's Devante. That's the kid. That's the dude that got the kid in play. It didn't work out,
Yeah, they'll know. And I'm like, hey, that's all right. It worked out on the field. I don't want to hear it. Don't talk to me. I'm famous.
Oh, good stuff, man. Well, before I let you go, I have to give you the last word. So that can be either a shout out, that could be a song, or that can be a poem. But right now, Devante, the floor is yours.
I'm going to give a shout out. Shout out to my dude, Vic, first of all, for even putting me onto the league. I think he's a GM or owner of one of the teams, like one of the pro teams. I can't remember. But Vic. Yeah, I was like, Vic. Yeah, shout out to Vic because he was the one who put me on. Like I said, he followed me on Twitter and I was like, hey, Vic, what is this? He explained it to me, kind of told me what to do. So shout out to Vic. Shout out to all the Supreme. Those are my guys. So, and then, shout out to my team, Ottawa. I'm not really cool with Canada like that, but it's all right. We'll figure it out. So, definitely an American guy, but it's okay. So, I'm super excited, though. We're going to work it out, We're definitely, I'm going to say we're the team to beat. Even if we go 0-16, we're the team to beat. We just happen to get beat 16 times. It's okay. So, that's all good. I'm going to keep that. I'm always going to keep my confidence. I'll never lie to you. I'm always going to keep that confidence up. So, yeah, I'm super excited. Thanks to League for having me. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Anytime, brother. Come back on whenever you have the time. I would love to have you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Welcome back to SFL Nights, 4th and Goal interview featuring a newfound friend of mine, Mr. John Smith. He is the O-lineman for the Madison Lynx. Now, as I was telling one of your counterparts, and it's going to be a surprise, or will it? Should I let it be a surprise?
You got to let it leak a little.
Maybe a little bit. So I had Joe Beasley on.
Nice.
And I also have Jim Foster coming on too. So it's just like you guys decided all y'all wanted to come on at the same time, which is great. But yeah, so Madison is definitely representing, trying to get their name out there and everything. So I commend y'all on that.
Absolutely.
But so John, tell us a little bit about yourself. let's have if you want to give us your name and your age, that's totally fine. If not, we understand. But your hometown, one interesting fact about yourself and your favorite NFL team.
Yeah, absolutely. So first, Ashley, thank you again so much for having me on. It's a real pleasure. I'm excited to get my name out there and for everyone to get to meet me in the SFL. So my name's John Smith. I'm 29 years old. I'm about to be 30. I turned 30 in September. My hometown, honestly, I've lived kind of all over. I was born in Washington, but I moved to right outside Oakland, California. I lived there for about 10 years. Then I moved to Vegas, lived there for a long time. Then I moved to Texas. Then I moved back to Washington, then back to Vegas. And right now, I actually reside in Omaha, Nebraska. So it's hard to say what my hometown is, but right now my home is Omaha, Nebraska. So we're going to go with that.
I like that. Well, which one was your favorite place to live? I should say.
Probably Vegas out of all the places I've lived, just because I lived there for about 17 years. So, and my family's still all out there. I still have a big tie to that. And, my favorite NFL team is the Raiders. So, I miss being out there for sure and going to those games. So it's, I guess I can confidently say out of all the places I lived, that one would be my favorite.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm out here in Arizona, so not too.
Yeah. See, we're not too far.
Exactly.
And then, interesting fact about myself is I've got 12 tattoos. So, you can see a few of them in the camera, but I'm pretty covered up. I've got my back done, my legs done. So when you guys actually meet me in person, we can go into more detail on them all. But yeah, that it shocks people sometimes because you look at me and you don't necessarily think this is a guy that's going to be covered in tattoos. But
nope. That's why you cannot judge a book by its cover, right?
Exactly.
So did the one on your back hurt real bad?
Oh yeah, that was my first one. I got that 2 weeks after I turned 18, and that took about 5 different sessions and about 35 hours. So it was a long one.
I toy with the idea of getting a little scorpion or a little something, but then I was like, nah, I'm not into unnecessary pain. So, but
yeah, the finished product is great. It's getting there. That's the problem.
And I admire them on everybody else I've met. Well, some of them look a little.
Yeah, sus.
But a little sus. But when you have the beautiful artists that actually take their time out and make sure that it's picturesque, oh my God, it's so beautiful. But
exactly,
I just more power to you. Have you ever played sports before?
I did play flag for football for quite a few years when I was younger there. My parents were never really into the me getting smacked around thing. So, we kind of compromised and played flag. But outside of that, not really. I was the nerdy guy on the sidelines that did the stats, talked schemes, worked with the coaches and stuff because I've always really loved the technical side of the sport, the ins and outs of it. But as far as playing, you'll see me watching, not being on the field.
Hey, it's safer to watch. I understand.
Exactly. I don't need to be Antonio Brown running around without my shirt on at the convention. So, we're trying to be a little safe here.
I think exactly. So how easy or how difficult was it for you to create your players?
Oh, it was super simple process. The deputy commish is great at that. Once I got in the league and got my sub and did all those things, he got right in front of me and said, hey, here's all I need you to do. I just need some basic information to get you made, and here's the website for you to log into. I would say that process was seamless, which was really nice.
Okay. So how did you find the league in the first place, and why did you decide to join ultimately?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm sure a lot of guys do this in the league. I was just watching YouTube, watching some franchise rebuilds on old Madden, old 2K games, just, kind of living vicariously through those videos. And eventually YouTube recommended me an SFL video and said, hey, come on and watch this up next. So I did. And I was just hooked right away from everything from the presentation to how the broadcast booth and everything takes it so seriously and really shouts out the players and makes these players feel like they're really on the field. They are part of the team. It grabbed my attention immediately, and I hopped right into the Discord and was like, I got to get in this league. So it was cool.
All right then. So what made you decide on the player position that you chose, and did you model your player after someone in real life?
Yeah, so initially I actually made a cornerback because I wasn't really sure. I didn't know the ins and outs of the league as well, so I wasn't sure where those needs were. And then after kind of diving into the Discord and talking with some GMs and head coaches, I realized that if I really wanted to hashtag make an impact, the O-line would be where I'd want to live. And from my point of view, because of how much I love the technical side of football, I know that, games are won and lost in the trenches, and being in there with my guys and knowing that I'm going to be protecting the QB, protecting the running back, making the difference on the line is something that really calls to me and something I'm really excited about. And if I had to say I'd have to model myself after someone, I'd say my goal is to be the white Trent Williams. I want to be the best tackle in the league. He's probably a top 5 player in the NFL, but he doesn't get the love he deserves because he plays on the line. And that's somebody that I feel like I'm going to want to strive to be like in the SFL.
Hey, I love all O-linemen. You have an important job, and I commend anybody that goes out for O-linemen specifically because those stats are not tracked. I guess much like the NFL doesn't really pay attention to that kind of thing. But I love you, and so I appreciate you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So, does your player name on your number actually have significant meaning to it?
Yeah, so the name obviously is my name. I really wanted to embody my energy on the field and wanted to make it feel like that's me out there in the trenches. So I just went with that. And the number, honestly, I chose 77 because I know that's going to look damn good on the jersey. Oh. So that's why I went with it. Nice and easy.
I love it. So what kind of personality will you bring to someone's locker room?
Yeah, I'm just a really positive energy guy. I love to have that leadership effect. Being on that line, my team is going to look to me to be the big body, that leader that they're going to need in the locker room, motivating us to keep our heads up, really, no matter what happens, right? I want to have that infectious leadership personality, the hunger to win, and I want to make sure that I'm feeding that to all my teammates.
Awesome. So when you first joined the Madison locker room, like when you first was let in there, how did that feel and what was the experience like?
Oh, it was unbelievable. It really felt like I had achieved what I was looking for when I first got into the league, when I was really thinking about joining up. These are the things that I dreamed about. Being able to walk in, see my name on a locker, look at it and go, this is where I belong, feels so good. Hopefully I can bring Madison some great victories. We can do wonderful things as a team. But honestly, being in that locker room, I have no doubt. A lot of guys will come out and say that they know they're going to be the difference maker, but I know it's not just going to be me. I know it's everybody else in there. I know talking with all the guys, we are all kind of focused on the same vision, and I can't wait to see that come to fruition here.
Okay, so what are your expectations of the coach and of your teammates?
Yeah, sorry for cutting you off. I'm really just looking for motivated people that want to win. But more importantly than all that is being there for the guys, understanding when things are down, that we have to all lift each other up, not just the coaches. It starts with the guys in the locker room, like we're talking about. It's really having that winning mentality is the main target that I'm looking for from everyone in the organization, top down. If we have bad weeks, it's not about placing blame and pointing fingers. It's about everyone lifting each other up and deciding, what are we going to do to move forward? How are we going to make those adjustments? And how are we going to, keep the energy in a positive place?
Okay. So with that, how do you handle the adversity and the trash talk that will sometimes come by you not being so productive or even by your team not winning?
Yeah, absolutely. The main thing is you got to block that noise out. You have to understand that, listen, other people are going to talk. Every team has their ups and downs, and you have to realize that when you're in a down spot, you have to see the light at the end of the tunnel. The easiest way to deal with that adversity is just to keep it all out of your mind and understand that anyone that's talking smack to you now, you at some point are going to be on the other side, being able to say, hey, we got you next time. And you can go ahead and be the bigger man and understand that what matters at the end of the day is putting that work in, and those results are going to come at some point.
Indeed. So when it comes to the progression part of your player, do you plan to take your coach's advice only, or do you want to do your own thing, or do you want it to be a collaborative effort between the two of you?
Yeah, honestly, I've talked to both my OC, Jay Ballmers, and my head coach, James Walters, on my progression plan, and both those guys have great ideas for what they want to see from me, so I have no issues with taking their advice on how I should progress and where my area of focus needs to be. If I don't see the results I'm looking for, as far as, making sure that I'm preventing pressures, making sure that I'm creating those gaps for the running back, then, we'll have a sit down and have a discussion about, hey, maybe these are some targets I should look for. But overall, I have extreme confidence in the coaching staff and what direction they want me to take.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. So, would you like to participate in the league being more than just a player? Do you want to try broadcasting or like stats or maybe beat writing or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually, for a long time in my younger years, was an esports shoutcaster. So for those that don't know what that is, it basically is just those guys that if you ever heard of anyone playing a video game for a living, the guys that did the broadcasting behind that. I did that for a few years with a certain video game. So broadcasting is definitely in my nature and my background, but I also adore statistics. Like I was telling you, I love the technical side of football, the side that, the average fan doesn't really know about or doesn't really see or doesn't honestly really care, right? But I love diving into that stuff and, being able to point at the players that really make the difference. And oftentimes you can't really see those, immediately on the field. It's analyzing that data and saying, look, you're doing these great things, even if it's not being recognized immediately. Seeing those deeper stats and recognizing that skill of those players is something that really speaks to me.
Okay. So you're increasing your draft stock every which way, huh? I see what you're doing.
I'm trying my best.
So what are you looking forward to the most about being here in the SFL? And that's from any aspect.
Yeah, honestly, it's the community. Even in my short time being here, I really love the investment from everybody in the league, from the top down. Things like this, to be completely honest with you, having these opportunities to say, hey, we want to see our players, we want to talk to our players, things like the convention, having that camaraderie amongst everybody. It really feels like the league is concentrated on not just growth, but player happiness, right? And player retention and player focus. And those are the things I'm looking forward to the most, is just hanging out with everybody, getting in the locker room, talking, congratulating, and building, being a part of the building of the league.
Okay, good stuff, man. This is going to be the last question before I get to a few fun questions I like to ask. Now,
sure.
After the SFLm season is over with, there will be a rookie draft. What are you going to be looking forward to when it comes to draft time?
Yeah, well, that's going to be being the number one pick, Ashley. Obviously, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. But in all seriousness, it's going to be just watching all the rookies, especially after this season. I'm going to get really close to not just my guys, but obviously everyone else in the SFLm season, and watching everyone achieve their dreams and finally make it to the pros is going to be a beautiful thing. You only get drafted one time, so it's going to be a really special night, and I can't wait to be a part of it and see who I get to bring my talents to.
Okay, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Now for the fun questions. So if you can, this is one of my favorite questions. I probably will ask everybody that's ever on my show. If you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, famous or not, who would it be and why?
Yeah, so for me, that's Muhammad Ali. He's the greatest of the greatest. When you list the GOATs of different sports, to me, he's in a class of his own. And the reason why I'd want to sit down and talk to him is because he was a very passionate man. He was very focused. He was very driven. And I'd love to hear his philosophies on what led to that success, what really made him feel different from the pack, and why he had the beliefs that he had, why he stood for what he stood for, not just in the boxing ring, but outside. As many people know, he was very much politically active, and I would love to just get to sit down and talk to him and say, when you're hearing all this noise from all different directions, what made you say, I'm going to let my sporting do my talking when I'm in the ring, and when I'm outside of the ring, I'm going to be confident speaking on my beliefs as well. So he's someone that I would just love to, him when he's, 27, 28 in his prime, just sit down and talk to him for a while. I feel like I would learn so much.
We all could. What is one of your most proudest moments in life so far?
Yeah, that would be my wedding. I got married just last Halloween to
Hey.
my beautiful wife. So she makes every single day better. She's what motivates me, not just on the field here in the SFL, but obviously off the field to stay focused and be a good man. And I would say that is undoubtedly the most proud moment of my life so far.
Oh man, good stuff. Good. And congratulations too.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, name 2 people in your life that inspire you positively and why.
Yeah, so the first, like we just talked about, would be my wife. She motivates me every single day. You know, she inspires me to not just work hard and, you know, achieve those dreams that I have, but to make sure I still set aside that time to understand that life is a double-sided coin. It's not just about work, work, work. It's about enjoying yourself and the process that goes along with that. She, you know, keeps my stress levels down, keeps me humble, and just... Yeah, I don't want to talk about my wife for 3 hours, but I could.
It's all good. I love it. I love.
And the second person would be my dad. You know, he was my hero growing up. He taught me exactly what it means to be a good husband, to be a good man, to do what you need to do in life. And every day when I have questions, I'll be honest, I hear his voice in my head. I look to him for that guidance. So those 2 would definitely be the biggest inspirations in my life.
Amazing. If you could only eat 1 meal for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
It'd be burgers. I absolutely love a good burger. I cannot lie. It's one of the biggest things I love about Omaha, Nebraska. We got the best cow beef in the country, and I could have a burger for a meal every single day of my life, and I know I would never get bored. Those things, you can't beat it. You can't beat the flavor. You can't beat the convenience. It's unmatched. I absolutely love burgers. So.
The creativity that you can have every day. You can do
exactly.
So.
It's a different flavor every single time. Exactly.
Indeed. When I worked at one of the restaurants, actually I worked at a few restaurants, but I know one of the more high-end restaurants that I worked at, we actually got our beef from Nebraska, so you're right about that. Yeah, this is a good one. So, what was one embarrassing thing that you did when you were 10 years old or younger?
Oh boy. So I would say the clearest memory I have, because you know a lot of times memories get fogged up, but I remember this very vividly because my mom loves reminding me of it. When I was like 7 or 8, she took me to daycare, you know, as a lot of parents do, and then she went off to work. Well, she forgot to give me a hug and kiss and say goodbye, so I refused to go in the daycare. I stood outside the daycare and cried until she would come back around, made her leave work to come and get me, tell me that, you know, that she loved me and to have a good day before I would even go into the daycare. I would not move. I just stood there, threw a tantrum.
Oh, so you weren't having that?
No, I was not. I said, I don't even know where my mom went. You know, I was not my proudest moment as a child, but a story I never stopped hearing. So figured I'd share it with everybody.
Good stuff. So what was some of the worst advice you've ever received in your life?
Oh, yeah, I love this one. I was actually told pretty early on in my adult life that online dating is a bad idea and doesn't work. And I actually met my wife on Bumble. So anyone out there that's looking for a good dating app, I would highly recommend Bumble because it worked great for me. And I mean, look at me. Listen, if I can find love, anybody can find love. Okay, so don't listen to people when they say that online dating doesn't work. I am living proof that it does.
Gotcha. This is kind of a wrench I threw in for you. You don't know about this one.
Oh, okay.
So if there is a movie being made about your life, who is going to play you?
Ooh, that's really good. I would say Edward Norton.
I agree. I can see it.
I've heard the comparison before, but I actually think he's a really good actor. And I feel like if they were to make a movie about my life, I feel like he would pass for me. He could absolutely play the role. He'd kill it. So I got to go with Edward Norton.
Good deal. So you're trapped on a deserted island, and you can only have 3 things with you. What are they and why?
So my first instinct was being really impractical and being like, yeah, I could build a boat. Let me ask for boat supplies. But then I realized there's no way I could do that. There is no shot. Let's be realistic. So I said, I need a kettle for food and water so I can boil water, so I can cook some food up. Flint to make sure I can always start a fire no matter what the conditions are. And I did say a loaded flare gun. See, you're not going to catch me. It's not going to be empty. Just in case someone gets close enough, I can fire that thing off. They can save my ass. That's what I went with.
Smart man. I like it. Last question for you.
Yep.
You don't know about this one either.
Okay, bring it.
If you had the chance to explore the ocean in depth,
okay,
or space in depth, which would you choose and why?
For me, it's the ocean. I really feel like there's some stuff down there that we just don't know about. You know, they say, you know, evolution says we came out of the ocean. Why can't it be we also evolved inside the ocean? How come way deep down there that we don't know about, there can't be some form of human life down there that we don't know about that evolved with gills? So in my head, that exists. That's one of my favorite conspiracy theories. You know, I think Atlantis really exists. Obviously not in the format like, you know, Poseidon and stuff, but I really feel like that's somewhere down there. And you know what? I'm going to go find it, Ashley. I'm telling you. That's it. It's down there, and I'm going to go find it.
Send me pictures. Oh, man. This is a great conversation, John.
Oh,
thank you so much for taking the time out. And, of course, you and your crew and everybody's invited to come back on whenever you want to. I'd like to
Awesome.
I'd like to follow the rookies throughout the process too.
Sweet.
So yeah, I'd love to have you back on. But do you have any questions for me before I let you go?
No, honestly, just one for you. I'm going to pretend like it's a job interview. You know, obviously you are a successful GM / however you want to phrase it of Arizona.
Owner, GM,
so,
everything
under the sun, Ash. So what is the things that you're looking for most? When you put up that draft board, obviously you're going to look at skill, talent, team need. But when you're like, what's going to make me pick? Let's say there's me and there's another O-line guy, and we're very similarly statted. We had similar seasons. What's the thing that's going to separate me and make me stand apart that makes you go, you know what? No. I need John on my team instead of this other, you know, competitor.
First of all, I already feel like that. Secondly, it would be the person behind the player. So me talking to you, if I'm watching these shows and I hear your interview and I get the chance to know who you are, because we're all avatars ultimately.
Yep.
But it is how you are going, when I ask you these questions, like how are you going to relate to my team? How are you going to be a good fit for us? Personality wise, time wise, like do you have time? Are you spending 40 hours, 50, 60 hours at work? You know, and then trying to find time to progress. So those are the kind of things that I'm looking for. What will be your dedication level to the team? Because ultimately life comes first.
Yep.
But secondly, I have to make sure, you know, when I was a GM, even now as an owner, I have to make sure that we have the proper pieces in place in order for a coach to do what he has to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet. Thank you.
Anytime,
Awesome.
man. I don't get too many questions. People don't really ask me too many questions. I don't know why.
You're so personable. That's easy. Those are easy person to ask questions too.
You think, but hey, but man, it was a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to have you on, and I'm looking forward to our future conversations.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I cannot let you go without giving you the last word. So that could be a song, that could be a poem, or just a simple shout out. Right now, John, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all my Madison brothers. That's it. I can't wait for SFLm season to start. We got a few weeks, and we're going to have an absolute killer season. Everybody be on the lookout for us because we're coming. That's it.
Okay. I'll be watching.
All right, good. I can't wait.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
What is up, SFL Nation? And welcome back to my Fourth and Goal interview featuring rookie class member of season 21. His name is Mr. Joe Beasley. He is a wide receiver for the Madison Lynx. How are you doing?
Doing all right.
Seems like the Madison Lynx decided they all wanted to represent on this podcast. You have two other members that's going to be on the show as well.
Well, hey, you gotta set the standard in the league, so I'm all for it.
Love it, man. So let's get started. Let's get to know you. What is if you want to give us your name, that's fine, and your age, that's fine. But if you don't, we totally understand. But what is your hometown? An interesting fact about yourself and your favorite NFL team.
So my hometown is College Park, Georgia. Favorite NFL team is actually the Packers. And the fact that, yeah, I know.
Okay.
And interesting fact about myself. Well, I'll tell you how I became a Packers fan.
Okay.
The first game I ever owned was Quarterback Club 97.
Okay.
And the cover athlete for that game was Brett Favre. So I picked the cover team, started playing with them, been a fan ever since.
We all make mistakes. But man, you had me at College Park, Georgia, man. That's where I'm from. That's where I actually I grew up in College Park. I lived in East Point. I lived in Covington for a while. Like I lived all over. So nice.
I was born at Grady, as a matter of fact.
We're really Grady, baby. Okay. Yeah. Love it. I was born in South Fulton. I don't think it's there anymore. I think they tore it down, but not too far. That's dope, man. That is dope. So tell me, have you ever played sports before, first off?
I played a little bit of basketball, a little bit of baseball, ran cross country in high school. Wanted to play football. Mom wasn't going for that, so I had to stick to the less violent sports for her.
Yeah, rightfully so. Then you probably want to be on the Packers team or something crazy. You know what I mean?
Nothing wrong with that.
No, you don't know I'm a Bears fan and a Falcons fan, so I figure I should let you know that.
All right, y'all come together now.
But tell me, how did you find the league and why did you ultimately decide to join us?
Well, I actually was a part of another sim league, and I just started Googling them. Like, hey, this is kind of fun, the whole process, the interaction. And I found you guys. You guys look active, so I thought I'd give it a shot, something different.
Okay, I like it. How easy or how difficult was the process of you creating your player?
It wasn't hard at all, actually. Pretty straightforward, to the point. I've dealt with a lot tougher, I'll tell you that much. But in terms of this league, very, very simple, straightforward. People are friendly, willing to help out. So simple, pretty easy, in my opinion.
Okay. So how did it feel to enter your team's locker room for the first time, the Madison Lynx locker room?
It just felt good to be a part of a team. Once you create that play, you're wondering like, all right, where am I going to go? Am I going to be able to play, get any playing time? But as soon as I hopped in, coaches, they were easy to get along with, easy to talk to, very, very helpful. Same thing with the team, and we're already on the same page. Season hasn't even started yet, but we're already on the same page about a lot of things.
I like that.
Good feeling.
Very much so. Very much so. First, initial thoughts about your coach.
Easygoing guy. I mean, straightforward. I'd ask him questions. He'd give me straight answers. That's all I can ask for, as a player on the football team. Coaches will say things you don't like. We haven't gotten to that point yet. But at the same time, gotta learn to respect it, especially if it's the honest answer. So loving everything about it so far.
Okay, love it. So what made you decide on the wide receiver position you chose? And did you model your player after a real player?
So had I would have played football, I either would have been a cornerback or a receiver because of my body frame, body size. And I modeled him after a friend of mine. He's not here with us anymore. So I kind of modeled after him. But had I played another position, I probably would have changed my height and weight.
That actually leads to my other question for you was, does your player name or number have a significant meaning to it?
It does. So the number 11 was my first number I ever wore playing any sports. And it's funny because when I played baseball, I wanted to be number 25. And he was like, you know what? You need the skinny guy's number. So they gave me number 11, and I stuck with it ever since.
Okay. So which one did you like more playing? The baseball or basketball?
Basketball, because there's always action going on. Now, I love baseball. Baseball is fun when you're winning.
Right?
But when you're in the outfield getting blown out, you're just like, I just want this to be over with.
Okay, this seems like the game takes forever.
Yeah, but I mean, I love both of them. Love them both, but basketball for sure.
Question is, were you any good at either one of them?
I was pretty solid in both of them. I wouldn't say I was the best, but I could play.
Okay. It's enough for me. So, would you like to be more than just a player in our league at some point in your SFL career, like maybe working for the broadcast team or stats team or anything of that nature?
Probably stats and maybe even doing a little bit of writing. I was actually a freelance blog writer for the Atlanta Falcons.
Really?
So, yes, I was. So that's nice. I was actually featured on Bleacher Report a couple of times for some of my articles and stuff about Michael Vick, you know, how some people feel about him. But yeah, I've done my thing in that department. So definitely interested in something like that.
Okay, well, maybe you can give us a few pointers too. I like that. So what type of personality will you be bringing to someone's locker room if you should happen to get drafted?
Hardworking, easy to get along with, willing to learn, kind of shy at first, but once I get in there, very goofy. Very, very goofy. But definitely hardworking, ready to work, ready to earn my spot. You know, I don't want anything given to me. I'd rather go out there in the field and show you guys, hey, I can play it. So I don't gotta say nothing to you. You know.
Okay. So what are your expectations of your coach and your teammates and even the future team that may draft you?
I'm all about the team. I'm all about winning. I want championships. I will help my quarterback win MVP. I'll put that out there right now. I'm a ball and I'm ready to go. Plain as that.
To your point that you just made, how will your player build be beneficial to your team?
I can play anywhere on the outside, on the inside. I can line up. I can match up against her. Cornerback, you can put me on the linebacker, put me on the safety. I may get 5 yards. I might get 50, but I'm getting something out of it. So definitely lots of grit out there with me on the field.
All right. So when it comes to your progressions, period, do you plan to take the coach's advice or do your own thing? Or will it be a collaborative effort between the both of you?
Definitely right now, especially because I'm a rookie, follow coach, you know, and once I can gain his trust, like, hey, coach, maybe I want to do something over here instead of over there, and they agree with it, we'll go with it. At the same time, they offer a suggestion like, hey, maybe you shouldn't put it right here. I'm going to do what coach says.
Okay. Because that's important. You know, you want to have that open line of communication with them. So what are you looking forward to the most about being here in the SFL? And that could be from any aspect.
When you ain't going to feel, I'm anxious. I'm very counting on the days till the league starts and I get in the football field and show what I can do.
Okay, I know y'all are. Y'all been really excited in the chat, so I've been watching. After the SFLm season is over with, and there will be a rookie draft, of course. And what are you looking forward to the most about the draft experience?
Pretty much just seeing who's going to take me, you know, and bringing my best to that team, and then making the other team that didn't draft me pay for it. You know, I'm always the best. I got chip from all this, so no disrespect to anybody else, but it's just how I am. You know, if you overlook me, then I'm gonna give you a reason to like show you why I shouldn't have done that in the first place. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, you do understand I'm gonna be watching all y'all games, right?
Absolutely.
And anybody that come on this show, I'm gonna be keeping a close eye. So if you missed that, if you drop one pass, I'm gonna let you know, Joe.
Oh, do that.
All right, I got some fun questions for you before I let you go.
All right.
One of my favorite questions that I like to ask, especially this season, is if you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, famous or not, who would it be and why?
Ooh. I thought about this question for a little bit.
Okay.
I would have to say Prince, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
So, growing up, my parents, being from Atlanta, listening to the Outkast and stuff like that growing up. My parents didn't like that super hardcore hip hop music in the house.
Yeah.
But they played a lot of oldies too. And one of the artists that I kind of, as I got older, I started understanding was Prince. You know what I'm saying? So definitely Prince would be an interesting conversation because he was kind of isolated towards the end of his career and stuff like that, just to talk to him,
Indeed. I like that. I think you're the first person to actually say it, Prince, so that's a good one.
Probably the only person.
So what is a good moment, or what is a moment in your life that you are the most proud of at this moment?
Probably the moment I became a father.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think it's every guy's dream to grow up and have a son of their own. And I got mine in here right now, trying to keep him calm down before he's acting up. I'm not in the house right now. But yeah, that and also getting married, it's a tie between the two. I can't put one above the other.
Yeah.
But those are two moments of my life right there.
I love it. How old is your son?
He'll be 6, July 16th.
Really? My son is 7. That's wonderful.
What an age, I'll tell you that much.
Man, I'm telling you, like he just left. That's why I had to mute my mic. He just left. Mommy, can I have some chips? Bro, can you wait?
Yeah. Same thing with games for apple juice. All right, there you go.
Exactly. So what is one embarrassing thing that you did when you were 10 years old or younger?
So I had this thing where I like putting things in my ear, right? And I remember when I was younger, I think it was we're playing Truth or Dare, and someone dared me to put something in my ear. Yeah, okay, whatever. And they gave me a watch battery, and the watch battery fell in my ear. So I had to go tell my mom and stepdad, like, I got something in my ear. I didn't tell them what it was. They looked right in the scene and said, "How in the bleep did you get that in there?" I told them what happened. They had to pull out. My stepdad had to pull out himself, and that was pretty stupid on my part. But that was definitely the most embarrassing thing.
Yeah.
Kids being kids.
Indeed. If you could eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
One meal for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I would have to say fried catfish. Fried okra. Yeah.
Okay.
But it gotta be fried. It has to be fried crunchy though.
Right. Not that soft stuff.
At all.
On another note, is Bankhead Seafood still open?
I think it is.
Man, some of the best fish I think I've ever had in my life from a restaurant. I swear.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, when you can catch them when they open.
No, I'm gonna say I haven't been home. I'm actually out here in Virginia right now, so
yeah,
I haven't been home since. Well, I was home this year, but I didn't swing by there. But hope it is still open because something about that Southern cooking just it hit different.
Indeed. Name 2 people in your life that inspired you in a positive way and why.
Definitely my son Jameson. He was actually born at 24 weeks.
Okay.
He was 1 pound when he was born.
Wow.
And I remember when my wife had him, they were saying, "Hey, you can go see your son now. He might not be moving. Don't be alarmed." So I go look at him, and not only is this boy moving, they had to put the plastic over him because he had jaundice, and he's trying to rip his cords out of him. like just showing that kind of determination. I was like, oh, even not even one day old, he's doing that. And I will also have to say, my wife, who had to go through that, her own trials and tribulations and everything, she just keep going. And she's finally getting to embarrassed by herself. So definitely those two. With an honorable mention to my mom. Can't forget about mom, you know.
Indeed.
But yeah, definitely those individuals right there.
Yeah, well, I'm glad your son and your wife are doing much, much better. You know, he's unhealthy, you know, and it's a beautiful thing, man.
It
is. All you
is.
can ever ask for, you know. So, what was some of the worst advice you've ever received? Like, man, why the heck did I even listen to that dude, man? Or that girl, man? Why?
I would have to say the first car that I bought.
Okay.
Tried to fit in with the in crowd. I was young. I had no business getting a car. I got a car that I had no business getting in the first place. Trying to be all flashy and stuff. And a year later, I lost it because I was irresponsible. I was a young knucklehead, and all that money is now down the drain. But we live and we learn, right?
Indeed. What kind of car was it?
Camaro.
Oh, I kind of figured it was something fast.
I still love my fast cars, but now I'm more savvy when it comes to working on them myself and stuff like that. So
yeah, you got family expenses. You gotta be.
Yeah, I gotta.
I feel you on that.
Save every penny you can, you know. So
indeed. Excuse me. You are trapped on a deserted island, and you can only have 3 things with you. What are they and why?
I need a good book. Definitely a good book. Probably something, you know what? A sports almanac. Because my wife would tell you she hates it. I study sports day and night. She hates it. I tell her facts about stuff. She pretends to care, and I love her for that. And I know she doesn't. That a picture of my family and a fishing pole.
Gotta eat, right?
Exactly.
Probably gonna try to catch you some catfish. I already know you.
If they got them out there, I'll catch you.
I know that's right. I got one more question for you.
Okay.
If you could win the lottery, right? And spend all your winnings in one day, or get $1,000 every week for the rest of your life, which one would you choose and why?
Give me the $1,000 for a week for the rest of my life.
Why?
It's all about the long. I got kids. If I was single and I ain't have a worry in the world, give me all the money up front. But you know, thinking forward, you know, there's a lot of things I can do. You know, go out and buy my own house and take care of this and take care of that. And, you know, at this point, it's all about setting up Jameson for the future at this point in time. It's kind of his life now. I kind of live mine. Did this and did that. Learned from my mistakes. You know, so give me the $1,000 a week for the rest of my life. Make sure he's straight, because I'm good. You know.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I know you're going to make a great addition to someone's team. And I do wish you the best of luck in your SFL career. Just be prepared, man. You know, it's one question I negated to send you, but how do you handle adversity? Like when your team is losing and you got people talking all kind of smack, like how do you handle that?
You got to take a step back and just remember, hey, you know why you're here. You know, mistakes happen. You have your good days and your bad days. You just got to remember to not let it get to you. Only one day, one moment. Take a step back, clear your thoughts, and keep moving forward. All you can do.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Thank you so much for your time, Joe. It was a pleasure to meet you. A pleasure to have you on the show. Now, before I let you go, though, 2 things. Do you have any questions for me?
No questions.
All right, then. And so I cannot let you go without giving you the last word. So that could be a shout out, that could be a song, or that can be a poem. Right now, Joe, the flow is yours.
All right, I'm gonna give a shout out to my teammates. be ready to win. Because hey, look, I'm trying to go and get it. Shout out to my family, of course. I wouldn't be here without them, their support, things like that. And I'm just ready to get the season started. Let's get to work.
Indeed. Can't wait to see what you do on the field because I will be watching, brother.
All right.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye. That is it. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Special shout out goes out to John Smith, Joe Beasley, Jimmy Foster, and Mr. Devante Moore for being on the show. Really appreciate you guys. And Diggy, of course, I always appreciate you for making time out of your day and the children and just having time for me. I really appreciate that, brother.
That's no problem.
Do you have any good words of wisdom for the people?
Yeah. I think I'd rather have a shout out, I guess.
Sure.
Even though I'm a Bears fan, shout out to the Seattle Seahawks on a guest appearance on today's show. No.
Everybody have it awesome.
I'd say just it's like you said, it's the end of an era here coming up. Enjoy the rest of the season. It's very competitive. So obviously all the coaches and everybody's giving it their all on this last run. So just enjoy it, fight hard, and we'll see what happens. So it looks like we talked about, a great run to end it. It's almost like with how close this is, we're already in the playoffs,
Right?
So
totally agree, man. It has been an exciting season. And I can't wait to see how it all ends. But thank you again for joining us this evening. I cannot wait to bring you another podcast next week, y'all. But until then, stay safe, treat each other well. Diggy, Striker, we're out.